to the show. It's just about to get dark out here, but it isn't yet. So me and Cassie are about to do our thing. And they want me silenced. Who wants me silenced? Well, you know the peoples. You've seen them online. You've had them as friends. They might be in your family. They're around. But yeah, so what don't they want us to talk about? Those peoples don't want us talking about Bob Joyce, Gene Ho, George Magazine, The Shape of the Earth, medical things, what's really going on in the world, in our country. People don't want us talking about that. It makes them question their own beliefs and biases, and they might have to actually take a few minutes and think about something that's real and not just some TV show or what somebody has been telling them their whole lives. And it wasn't always easy. Blessing of many experiences in life, good and bad, that brought me to a point by 2020. Wasn't per se that year, but because of everything that happened, 2020, I was kind of at the breaking point personally where I just really didn't care anymore what anybody thought about my perspectives, beliefs, the things that I wanted to question and look into. I just didn't care anymore. And it wasn't in an evil sort of way either. It was, God has put it on my heart to question these things. And as long as I don't get any bonk on the head that's telling me that I'm just straight up wasting my time or I'm doing it for the wrong reasons, then I'm just gonna keep on going. And just like many of you, and here we are, 2025, we're still chugging along, we're still doing the same things, and we've seen nothing but positive results from doing that. So, are we gonna keep going? Oh yeah, we're gonna keep going, for sure. So who's here? We got Jerry. Jerry's here. Sorry, Miss Slim Jiggy is your name on here, so I'll do my best to remember Jerry, but it's tough, and I'm already not that good with names. Elaine is here, Connie, Barbara, Loving Mother, Sheila, JR, Joanne. I think I got everybody. Yeah, welcome. It's about sunset time, as you can see, and it's looking really beautiful over there. It's not called Earth set, it's called sunset. Wrap your brain around that for a minute. So, anyway, yeah, a couple things in the last week I've been thinking about. I've been having fun with a group online. Can I say Facebook group that shares things about the shape of the earth. And I just been having fun with it. And it was another one of those kind of steps where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to share whatever I want. And surprisingly, I haven't got as much pushback as I was expecting. But I do have a picture to share with you guys too about a George magazine cover that says the firmament, sorry, on it. And yeah, I just love how George magazine is tying together all these things that I'm interested in, things that you're interested in. Obviously, that's why you're here. And yeah, can I get a better view of this sky? There it is. Connie, you just subscribed to George magazine. Nice. Yeah, I don't think any of you are going to regret it if you do. And I'm going to be encouraging that. I don't make any money from doing that. I just, like I said in one of the last videos, I just believe that all of the digging I've done over the years and looking for the best people to follow who don't like try to give us hopium or trying to get followers, anything like that, it has brought me to George magazine. And I know that's one of the places we want to be. And then also, if you know anything about the online poster known as that letter, then you would also have a reason or two to consider following George magazine more closely. So yeah, it's just really amazing everything that's happening. It's very slow. We want things to go faster, but you know, we kind of did since 2016. So we should be kind of used to it at this point. And so I kind of see one of my roles in just to keep on going and to try to keep tying some of these things together, because, come here, Cassie, come here. Wait, doggy. Doggy's trying to run away from me. Because it's all connected as far as we see coincidences and connections on things, many connections, whatever the topic is. And most of you, if not all of you listening right now, do the same thing as me. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna deposit that in my memory bank. And then when I see something else come up, it's like, wow, that makes perfect sense. And yeah, the more times, the more things connect, it gets to a point where, okay, I feel like I'm on the right track. And so, yeah, people are wakey. And I don't know, maybe it's just starting to get fun too, if you think about it, because if you guys are posting online, if you're engaging in some of these communities and whatnot, and you keep doing it for a while, like I have, then you would notice that there's been quite the transition happening over the last 5 years. And it's not the same as it was 5 years ago. There are more people that, whatever the topic is, they may not see it as well as we do because we've been thinking about it, studying it for longer, but they're at a point where they're like starting to ask questions and just, that's kind of weird. Yeah, why are they doing that? You know, those kinds of things. And these are the same people that weren't even thinking twice about it a few years ago. So, as Gene Ho would say, that's very interesting. And it really is. So where was I going with that? So, well, like I'm saying before, like I said before, that's how it ties in with Pastor Bob, Joyce, and Gene Ho, and George Magazine, and a certain president, and everybody else who's thinking on the same wavelength. And it's kind of become fun because we've gotten to a point where we really don't need to say all the words that we wanted to a few years ago. You know how it was. I would come on here and try to do a live just a couple of years ago. And I would want to talk about a topic, but not know how to do it because of the silent factor. And yes, I'm doing it a little bit right now, but it was just so hard to even talk because it was just like code word after code word all the time. But we've come a long ways, so it's not really like that anymore. It is a little bit, but you know, I've spent many hours, weeks, months, and years figuring out how to sort of bring us all together here, because everybody loves YouTube, all the information on it. Yeah, it's great, but there have obviously been problems for certain people like us. So I did work very hard to figure out, okay, I want to talk about this stuff. I want to bring it all together, but I need to do it in a certain way. And so, yeah, I mean, it took time, but I think that's kind of what we're seeing happen. Not just with this channel, but many channels, many people, I'm sure. But yeah, I still got a lot of videos, everyone, to share from Pastor Bob, George Magazine Live, the trip and everything. This week I kind of slowed down a few notches because the weeks leading up to it, I was super busy. And then the weekend was nonstop. So it's been kind of like a downshift week for me. But yeah, there's going to be plenty more videos to share, interesting connections and everything. Hi, Elaine, if I didn't say hi before, and Irma, and Barbara, and Sheila. Thank you all. So yeah, sometimes I'm not sure about putting out so many shorts, but to bring it all back around to family members, people close to us who maybe give us the hardest time sometimes. It's the same with people you don't know online. And yeah, I'm just not really going to worry about it. And I'm not going to let fear, the enemy, stop me from just doing what I want to do, saying what I want to say. Not for selfish reasons, but just because I feel like it's the right thing to do. And yeah, it's for God's glory. So if we're representing the truth, and that is our main goal, then, well, that's God. It is the truth. And the enemy is the liar. So when you look at it that way, it's pretty simple. So why would we want to stop from just saying the truth? So, yeah, thank you, JR. I'm really bad about, hey, thumbs up and subscribe and all that stuff. Smash the like button. But you guys know what to do. And I don't worry about that kind of stuff either. God has been taking care of me and our community here and this channel. So we're just going to keep on rolling. If you love it, then come back. And I don't really sure, but I do think comments help. Just engagement, you know, and that's kind of like social media in general. I think if you like somebody, as in you like the content that they're giving you, then make sure you give them the likes and the comments, because it's just like an algorithm thing. It just tells the computer, hey, let's show them more of this person because they like it. So it's pretty much that simple. on a side topic tangent. So just heading back now, me and Cassie did a circle here on the bike around the neighborhood, and I'll probably wrap it up in about 5 minutes or so. But yeah, as far as not being silent, there's always going to be those who don't want us to talk about Pastor Bob either. And there was a while there, at first, I really kind of wrestled with the decision to kind of go all in about sharing what I was seeing and learning about Pastor Bob, because, I mean, he's a great pastor, and he seems like a person who's obviously not trying to become a big star or anything. I think he already was. But, well, and is again, but you know what I'm saying. And yeah, it's just, at times it's felt like a balancing act, but anybody who's watched enough of the videos or listened to me talk about him will know that I am one of his top fans and supporters, as well as the church. And if the day ever comes that I'm wrong about Pastor Bob, having been EP in a former life, as in younger years, then I'll accept it. I will come right back on alive that day or the next day and say, I can't believe it, but I was wrong. And God definitely has the best sense of humor, which is always a possibility. But as far as me not sharing it, why not? As I mentioned before, Pastor Bob made the decision essentially decades ago to become a pastor of a church, and then to go more public with the YouTube channel. So, you know, somebody could start making videos about me, saying I'm this person or I'm doing that. And who knows, I look like this person. Maybe I'm that person. And I would just have to deal with it and probably ignore it. But that's just how it is. That's the public life that we live. Anybody who is out there. And yeah, and also, like I said before, Pastor Bob is not only a public pastor, but he's a public artist. So he's doubly got a public life. So it's just kind of the nature of doing those things. But even more so when you just happen to sing and play piano just like Elvis. And you kind of look like him a lot and kind of talk like him. And you tell stories that sound like his life. And but yeah, then again, I've talked about this before. Some of you guys have heard me talk about this many times, but part of the reason why I enjoy talking about it and bringing it all together for all of us is that I do think there is a plan for Pastor Bob Joyce. I don't know the timing of it. I don't know exactly how things are going to play out. But I see all of the connections and coincidences, and don't think that he is oblivious to it. I think he's just doing what he needs to do, maybe what he's been told to do to some extent. And if you don't think that's a possibility, then I don't know what to tell you, because the man has been to Mar-a-Lago. He's connected to Gene Ho and George Magazine. And yeah, and then everything else that we already know about him. So could he be playing a role, so to speak? Yes, and that's what I think. I don't necessarily think he's in the know about too much, because when you're running sort of a big plan, like what we're seeing unfold in the country, you don't need to tell everybody what's really going on behind the scenes. You just tell them what they need to know. Maybe give them a few breadcrumbs and be like, okay, yeah, in this year, we have the tentative plan of this and that, and celebrities who went into hiding are no longer going to have to worry about prosecuted. Maybe they just know the year and that's it. I don't know, but that's what I believe. So none of the discussion is meant to give him or his church a hard time. And actually, you know what? One thing that was really refreshing, going to George Live, was I talked to some members of his church, and they kind of seem to be following the channel and agreeing with everything that we've been talking about. So put that in your brain and think about that one. They know him way better than I do, and most of us here. But, well, I need to wrap it up here. It was already longer. I always plan to do a short live. Over in like 30 minutes. And it seems fast. So I'm gonna wrap it up, but you guys all have a good one, and I will see you soon. Thank you all. I'm gonna feed this Cassie and call it a day. As you can see, it's dark now. Trying to read some of your comments here. Hello back, Sheila and Donnie. Yeah, he said he was born Bob Joyce and was never anyone else. Yeah, I mean, if Pastor Bob decides to put out like another sort of refute who he is and says, I was never Elvis, that would be different. I might, take a few steps back and recalibrate the whole situation. But as we know, he never said those words. So, yeah, we're rolling with things. We're going to keep on rolling. I'll see you guys later. Take care and God bless.